on the line today, we have a very special guest. It's Ra Uru Hu, and he will be talking to us about the human design. The human design system as a tool for how best to navigate this earth plane. Something like a user's guide or passport to the life you were meant to live. So on the line with us from Ibiza, hi Ra.
Hello there. Hi to everybody else. Nice to be here.
So Ra, the human design system, I'm going to ask you some questions. The human design system is not a belief system. Can you tell us a little bit what it is?
Well, it's a revealed science. It's something that in and of itself is deeply unique. It's a mechanical way of understanding the nature of being. I think the thing that's so important to grasp about the human design is that it doesn't carry with it any kind of dogma. It is fundamentally just about mechanics. It offers each and every person an opportunity to see the possibility of how they themselves can operate on this plane. I mean, you introduced this with comments of mine about the nature of uniqueness. It's one of the extraordinary things that we learn in science, that no two objects can occupy the same place at the same time. We are objects moving in space. Each and every one of us have a unique trajectory to our movement. In that uniqueness, there is no comparison. And it is one of the dilemmas that we have living on this plane, because we're all conditioned by the nature of our minds and the way in which our minds work. And our minds measure this and that. And in measuring the this and that, we can end up being deeply confused. The beauty of human design is that through the mechanics, we find a place within ourselves that we can trust and we can rely on, because it's designed to guide us on this plane. And once we are able to surrender to that, because it is a surrender, then the possibility of what uniqueness is meant to be, that is the unique expression of awareness, is something that becomes possible. The dilemma is always the same. The New Age is full of all kinds of promises and dreams and fantasies. To transform your life is work. It is conscious work. It is the most important work, in fact, that you can have in this life. And this is really where everything begins. It begins with the willingness to work with transformation. And through human design, in so many ways, it's simple. It's not easy, but it's simple. There are strategies, there are authorities, and there's the opportunity to experiment with that.
Mm-hmm. I mentioned in the introduction that the human design is the gift to an evolving humanity. Would you please elaborate on that a bit?
Yeah. I'm not particularly comfortable with that kind of statement, because I don't really think in a sense that it's true. It is clear to me that the nature of the world that we live in, what I refer to as the homogenized world, the world of the not-self, the world of beings who live in a realm that is a Maya, that is deep in conditioning, the vast majority of those beings are not about to have some miraculous transformation take place in their consciousness. The nature of conditioning, as long as I've been teaching, and it's moving towards 25 years now, what I teach the most is the density of conditioning. It's everywhere. It is a gift to those who are ready. That's what it's a gift to. There's no question that humanity has evolved. It's part of the teaching of human design that we are nine-centered beings, and we began to emerge on this plane in 1781. We have extraordinary gifts in terms of the potential that we have for awareness, but we're still trapped so deeply in this concretized plane. You know, my concern in terms of the movement of knowledge into the world, in this day and age, there are millions of people that are aware of the knowledge. It's each person. It's one person at a time. It is this serendipity, this wonder of, you know, you're in the right place at the right time to be ready to transform your life. And when you're in that place, the potential is always there. The encounter is always there. But it isn't for all of humanity. I think that, I've never been messianic. I don't see knowledge in that way. It's very clear to me after all of these years that you really have to be ready for knowledge like this. It's not a fad. It's not a thing. It is quite literally a path. It is a way of life. It's a unique path, but it's a way of life.
Very important point, Ra. Very important. That's great. Well, we are now 6 billion or more than 6 billion that share this experience. And most of the human beings don't get to live out the life they were meant to live due to incorrect operation. As you say, it's mechanics. So could you go into it just a little bit, what you mean by mechanics?
Well, it's more than... the limitation that's there on this plane is an obvious one. We have, we live on a plane in which it's not just a matter of the billions that are here, it's the matter of the billions that are disenfranchised, the billions that are hungry, the nearly 1 billion people that don't have access to fresh water, the people that live in societies that brutalize them, the fanaticism that dominates people's lives on this plane. The not-self world is dense. Human beings are locked deeply, deeply, deeply into this. There are mechanical ways of describing how all of this works. As a matter of fact, I'm in the process of teaching something that's called rape sociology, which is a way of understanding how humanity is caught in such a thrall. And there isn't anything you can do about that. There isn't. I mean, it is one of the things... I'm somebody that is very practical. I look at the nature of the world and I understand its limitation. If I were designed to be an empath and to be empathic for all of those that will never have the opportunity to live the potential beauty of who they are, I would have died of pain a long time ago. I cannot look at the world that way. What gives me great pleasure in this life is the beings one by one in which I see that this veil and its illusions are something that they have broken through. And it's the beauty of human design that it is there for anyone. It just doesn't mean that it's there for everyone.
Mm-hmm. Well, the body of work that you have brought forth is stunning. And in 1999, Jovian Archive was founded by you and your family. And I love the leading-edge technology on that platform. What is the function of Jovian Archives in the world?
Well, for me, it's the one place. I mean, one of the phenomena about bringing new knowledge into the world is that you have to deal with all the archetypes. I've had the knowledge manipulated by others. All kinds of black marketeering of information and many other things. Jovian Archive was established in order to make sure that there was a legitimate archive of human design teaching, and basically, Jovian Archive today is a portal. It's a doorway for newcomers. We give away an enormous amount of material for free. It's part of our philosophy that no one has, no one that shows up at the door is denied knowledge. We give away free software and all kinds of information, films, audios. So there's a tremendous amount of material that's there for newcomers. And it houses the archive of all of my teachings. There are hundreds of teaching videos that are there. We have a huge video selection for people under Jovian Archive TV. So it acts as a platform for the source of the knowledge. I mean, today there are tens of hundreds of teachers and professionals that are out there in the world. There's a great deal of human design going on everywhere. It's one of the most extraordinary things for me to just watch the way it's moved across the world. I mean, leading centers for human design this week, for example, were from Moscow and Shanghai and Sofia in Bulgaria, New York, and it's really quite remarkable to see the energy of the knowledge move in the world. So Jovian acts as it's my site, so it's where
I
the
can
knowledge
totally vouch for it. I'm on there very often to look for things. So
I find that technology is something that is so much a part of our time. My process, my mystical process, began the same year that Bill Gates created Microsoft. I think that human design wouldn't be possible without computers. It wouldn't be possible without high-tech calculations. We have some of the most complicated calculations for the calculation for a chart. The technology that's used. Human designs moved around the world because I was one of the very first, if not the first, person in the New Age to use the Internet to teach. I've been teaching on the Internet since '99, since we founded Jovian. It was my dream. And it makes it possible for people anywhere in the world to get an education. Today, through Jovian, through the International Human Design School, it is extraordinary to go into a classroom where you have, dozens of countries that are represented, and you have this instantaneous way in the virtual world that we can all link up and that we can be inspired together at the same time. It's been quite a delight, and Jovian as a site is emblematic of our dedication to using technology for the benefit of education.
It is such an exciting time to be alive with all this interconnectedness, isn't it?
Well, for me, it's extraordinary. I mean, one of the gifts of human design is to be present in evolution. I mean, we are moving towards one of the most extraordinary stages in the human process. That's in 2027. We have a vast cycle that's slowly grinding to a close and a whole new cycle that's opening up. There's tremendous transitions that are at work in the world that through the knowledge you have a way of being in touch with phenomena that otherwise you wouldn't be able to see because it would roll over you.
Yeah, and I mean it's a fairly new science because it could have not come about any earlier, once because of the computer technology, and then when we link it to the DNA, that's also fairly new in the sciences. So this whole knowledge, even though it incorporates ancient knowledge systems, could not have been possible before this time. Don't you think so?
No, it's a beautiful synthesis. I mean, that's really what it is. It is a synthesis of great so-called pseudo knowledge going back to the I Ching, which in fact was deeply connected to the whole genetic construct long before we understood genetics. To the chakra system, the Eastern and Western astrology, all of those strands of knowledge that historically have been part of our growth, all are synthesized in human design, along with what is very advanced understanding of the nature of physics. I mean, long before the neutrino was discovered and declared to have mass, which is one of the premises of the physics of human design. I was teaching that in 1992, years before all of that. It's one of the things that's so remarkable about the revelation of human design is the density of the synthesis. Students of mine who have been with me over the years, who are now colleagues of mine, who have gone through decades of this knowledge, it is just phenomenal. I'm always surprised. I mean, I have an unconscious mind in terms of the way human design operates, so that I really don't have access to where all this stuff comes from. I marvel at it. I tend to be my best student. I've never found anything so intellectually stimulating.
Absolutely, I underwrite that. So, Ra, many of our challenges in life arise because we have such great difficulties in our interactions with others, whether they are our career relationships or whether they are our personal relationships. How can human design help here?
Well, human design helps anywhere. It goes back to the individual, because everything about human design is about the individual. If you're operating according to your strategy and authority, I used to make a joke, and my joke was that, I could create any kind of course, get rich quick, fix your sex life, all these different kinds of courses that people would find so interesting, and yet I would always be teaching the same thing. I mean, if you want your life to work for you, then live it as yourself. And what human design provides is a strategy and authority. That strategy and authority takes you away from your mind. If you look at human design, if you look at any chart other than the rarity of reflectors, you're always seeing this relationship between the things that are colored in and the things that are not. It's nature and nurture. The dilemma for humanity is that it's lost in the nurture, it's lost in the conditioning. And that conditioning goes straight to the mind. So your life gets ruled by what you're not. And your mind is constantly directing you to do what is not correct for you to do. What human design offers is another authority, an authority within yourself, your form, your vehicle, your body, your life. It has its own intelligence. And the moment that you can trust that intelligence, that you can experiment with it, then it's going to change the nature of your relationships. I mean, if you're a generator and somebody says to you, do you want me? And you go, you know right away you do not want that person in your life because you have just expressed an essential truth. We all have a way of operating correctly as ourselves. And that determines not just simply our relationships, but it determines what we're going to do on this plane. Every decision that you make is a form of navigation. This is what human design is about. It's about navigating as yourself. It's not about allowing your mind to guess for you, to say, well, let's try this or let's try that. It isn't about that. Your mind never truly knows. What it's good at is being a witness, past tense, witness. But for the beauty of what it is to act out in this life, to go correctly in this life, to embrace those that are correct for you, the job, the whatever, you have something else that you can truly trust that is not going to lead you astray. It's going to lead you towards what's called differentiation. And the potential that's here in every human being is to differentiate. That is, to literally be able to live out the potential that's there, not in your nurture, but in your nature. And it is this nature that is unique, each and every one of us. The plane that we live on is very boring. Not only is it corrupt in terms of its material grasp, but it's deeply, deeply boring. It's boring because we do not have diversity in our outer authority. We have people that repeat the same things over and over and over again, repeat the same stories over and over again. Everything about the possibility of what it is to be a nine-centered being is to be aware. And awareness is something that you express uniquely, your outer authority. That there is no longer this homogenized voice that says we all agree. Well, we don't all agree. We are all designed to see differently and to respect each other for that difference. I mean, this is what we're about. And until we begin to express our unique awareness, we're not going to change the consciousness on this plane. Not at all.
Ra, how has the human design changed or influenced your life on a personal level? And how has it changed the way that you interact with people today?
Oh, I have no real way of answering that. It's not even a question of how, it changed my life in the sense that it killed whatever I was before, in a sense. It destroyed it. It shattered it. That's long gone. What human design has brought me is what a manifester is here for. And I'm a manifester. It has brought me peace. Peace is an extraordinary thing. And with that peace, the gift of the knowledge, the gift for what it means for me in my relationship with my children, with my grandchild, with the people that are there in my life. There's no end to what that has brought to me. But in a nutshell, peace. You know, it's one of the beautiful things that we have in the nature of our designs. Each type has a theme, which is a not-self theme, which is what drags them down. The generator is frustration, and the projector's bitterness, and the manifestor's anger, and the reflector's disappointment. And on the other side of that is what's possible for us. That is what's called signature, you know, the generator that finds satisfaction, and the projector that finds success, and the manifestor that finds peace, and the reflector that finds that surprise that gives them that kick in life. We all have these possibilities that are there for us. Most of the playing lives out the negative theme, dragged down by its weight. And somebody like me, who like everybody else, you know, I was born and raised not self. I can think back and remember the nature of what that being was like, what a life ruled by anger can look like. It's extraordinary what it has done for me. But as I said, you know, it is the same for all of us. If you find your signature in this life, you have really found a way, and it makes it delicious.
Ra, what makes your heart sing the loudest these days?
Well, I don't know. Those things are always difficult to answer. I guess it's, for me, I think no matter what is going on in my life, to sit down with my guitar and to sing and to play by myself.
I only came across your songs the other day. I can't believe it. I never heard it before. Beautiful.
I was raised in a very musical family, and I began entertaining when I was very young, I guess 9 or 10 years old. I worked as a folk singer when I was a teenager and sang in New York and all these places. Music was always in my life. I love music. I love to make music. But I don't like the nightlife. I never liked the nightlife. And it was going to preclude me ever being a musician, a professional anyway. It was never something I was comfortable with. And it was a blessing for me because I ended up in a very innocent relationship with my music. There was no ambition to it. There never has been. I just enjoy the magic because it's a very magical thing. This arrival of music. I mean, it is a vanity to say that one writes these things because you don't. And I've had hundreds of different songs come through me and have watched myself live out that experience, see it arrive. I mean, it's an extraordinary gift. And for somebody who you know, I spend so much of my life putting a lot of pressure on my throat system, singing is very healing. It's healing for the body. It's good for the prana. It's one of those things that, I mean, I've been playing the guitar for 54 years, I think, or 53 years. It's just a wonderful thing to be in tune.
Mm-hmm. And you're teaching it to your grandchild?
No, he's not old enough for that yet.
Oh, how old?
I don't teach music. I think music has to be alive in you. You know, if it's there, it's there. And if it's there, you see it, and if you see it, you can nurture it.
Mm-hmm. So, Ra, you're coming to America in 2011. What's that all about?
Well, I'm not coming to America. I'm coming to Canada. I'm going to Toronto. Once a year we have the annual Human Design event, and this is the 9th annual Human Design event. It's going to be in Toronto towards the end of April. You listeners can check it out. It's 9th annual humandesignevent.com. And something different this year because there are so many newcomers all over the place that I'm going to be offering a special immersion program. And following the immersion, I'm going to do clinics. And clinics are really remarkable. I mean, the experience of going through people's charts and feeling the frequency of what that's like when people get a chance to see. But anyway, that will be my visit to North America this year. It's going to be in April.
Oh, I may have misunderstood. I thought you were going to tour America in 2011.
No, I'm touring, but my tour schedule right now is in Europe. I'm going to be in London on Thursday, and I just spent a couple of weekends ago. I was in Amsterdam. I'm doing what's called the Radical Transformation Tour. I'm bringing second-level knowledge to people, and particularly in Europe right now, the level of interest in Europe is extraordinary. I mean, it's simply extraordinary, and it's my backyard, so it's very nice.
Mm-hmm. Ra, if anyone desires to get in contact with your teaching, what is the best way to go about that?
Just to visit jovianarchive.com.
If somebody is totally new to the human design, Ra, and comes to you and says, what would be the best way for me to immerse myself, what would you suggest they do?
I never tell people what to do. Human design isn't about that. What I tell people is to honor their strategy and authority. It's the only way you find out anything. I mean, most people with their minds think that they want this thing and that thing and the other thing. The only way that you can really see whether human design is something that's for you is that you experiment with it. You try it out. You see if it works. It's not about getting an education at that point. It's not about needing an enormous amount of information as a way of trying to bolster yourself in the process. It's a very simple thing. You're either ready to experiment with the possibility of what that can mean for you or not. In terms of the timing of all of this, yes, indeed, we are cellular creatures, and there's no question that we go through a 7-year cellular cycle. But it's something to grasp about what deconditioning is. The fact that you go through a 7-year cellular cycle doesn't mean in that sense that, you are deconditioned. It means that your body has been deconditioned. Your mind. I mean, this is the great struggle in human design, is the mind. I mean, after all, it is the only way in which you have contact with your life. You express your life through your mind. Everything is about your mind. It's very difficult in the beginning for anyone to really grasp that their mind is not intended to run their lives. It's not an easy thing to do. The mind's deeply conditioned. And it's continually conditioned by the openness that is there in somebody's design. If you've got an undefined heart center, your mind is always concerned about trying to prove itself. You're always caught up with trying to get people to see that you're more important, that you have value, that you're all those things. We're conditioned by what we are not. The most difficult thing to do in human design is not to transform the body. The body will respond immediately to correctness. But it's the mind. The mind that's constantly dabbling in what it thinks it should be doing. When in essence the mind is here truly to be a witness. What I teach is the possibility of passenger consciousness. We're passengers in these vehicles. We're passengers in these bodies. And it's the body that is indeed the life. It is the body that's built on all those cells and all those genetic strands. But the body is not what we are. We are here to experience through it, through its life, through its eyes, through its feelings, through its movie. And to get to that place, you cannot be worried about what you're going to do tomorrow or when you should do this or that or the other thing. It's when your mind is released from that, when the formula of what you are is just allowed to flow on this plane. Strategy and authority is an extraordinary thing, but you find it out for yourself. Nobody can take you there. Nobody can take you through the process. Nobody knows where it's going to. In the early years, I had, people who would eventually be in the knowledge a long time would say to me, well, what's going to happen when I get to the 7-year point? Oh, we said the same thing. I don't know. How am I supposed to know that? There's no cookie cutters here. There's no, this is the way that it's going to be. There's the whole thing about uniqueness and the beauty of what it is to be unique.
Yes, absolutely. Thank you so much, Ra. And
well, thank you very much. It was interesting.
yes.
You take care of yourself. And goodbye
you
to everybody.
Too. Thank you. So
all
in
right.
giving
Bye-bye
thanks
now.
on Ra, our music clip at the beginning of the show was again by Angelica. That's www.angelicahealingmusic.com. Typed into Grace, track 7 from the album Into Grace. And as we wind down our show today, I'll play the whole track again. So enjoy and please let your heart sing. Until next time, ciao. Love, bye.
Love is